Come back at 6, wake me and your child. And then won't lay today, make me wonder who you might have been playing with. Makes me wonder who you think.
Good morning, cyber friends. Happy Monday. Welcome to day 23 of our 30 days of intentional wellness. And you did hear the 23 part, correct? How much is 23 away from 30? Yeah, girl, we're almost done. This is the home stretch. This is the last week. I'm in better spirits today, if you can't tell. I have been productive this morning. I got up at a decent time. I didn't get up on time to go to the gym this morning, but the gym is still going to get done. You already know that about me. But I woke up. I did one of my hobbies. I read my book. I did some work, so I'm free to move around and have a little flexibility throughout my day. And so I am going to make breakfast because, again, one of the goals for this week is to follow the meal plan to a T and at least eat 3 of the 5 meals that's in the book. And what better way to start it off with breakfast? And I've already cooked the other 2 meals, so there's no excuses. We're going to eat how we're supposed to eat. And again, it wasn't that I wasn't eating clean or whatever the case may be, just not eating the proper portions and at the times and doing all the meals that I could. So we're working on that, as well as we're still working on time management, as well as we're still working on getting the hobbies in. Again, I woke up this morning and I already read one of my books, and I do plan on doing another hobby before I go to bed today. So I'm hoping to either crochet some more, or I am hoping to either color or something of that nature. So here's the order of things we're going to do today. And we are just going to go ahead and get our day started. Thank you for coming back. As usual, have a good one. All right, y'all. Y'all have already seen me done my meal prep, but this is just how I am preparing my breakfast. So this is about to be real short, real simple, real out the way. And at the end of me making my breakfast, I'll show y'all what my lunch/dinner looks like. Well, at least one of the meals, because I did cook fish and I also did cook ground turkey meat. But this recipe is pretty simple. You're just doing egg whites with some veggies. Specifically, she said bell peppers and onions. And then you are doing toast with avocado. So I got some fresh avocado, and I got some fresh onions and bell peppers already cut up. You know how they be selling them at the store, cut up. And I'm just going to go in and slice them up. Like, I like bell peppers and I like sometimes onions, but I ingest them better when they are chopped to the T, honey. When I have to have big pieces of them, it throws me off. I am definitely a texture person and a taste person, and these things haven't always tasted good to me separately. How some people can eat them separately and fresh. If they are put in correctly, how I need them to be put in correctly, like for instance with like spaghetti sauce, how stuff is diced up to where I wouldn't be able to really taste the taste prominently. Like with mushrooms and stuff, I can't stand mushrooms. But put them in some sauce and have that bad boy chopped up, and it ain't gonna make no difference to me. But yeah, so I'm just putting all of my ingredients together. Just a little salt, a little pepper, nothing crazy, nothing wild. I do my little egg whites. And honestly, this is my first time in life, as I've been doing her meal plan, eating just egg whites. It's not bad. I don't know if I ever thought there would be like a true difference, but I don't know. What is the difference? Can y'all taste the difference? I think I told y'all, like with water, I can't be tasting the difference. How y'all can. That's the plate. And then this is what one of my lunches/dinners look like. And this is what I'll be eating for the week. Now let's go ahead and take it over to the lake again. This is one of the places that I enjoy going to get my mind right, to feel better. Just brings a peaceful vibe. Again, as an earth sign, I enjoy being outdoors. So before I get my walk going, I'm just making sure I have all my essentials. I usually put my little weighted vest on, and then I make sure that I have my keys, make sure I have my sunglasses. Sometimes I put one of the little repellent bracelets on because there is a piece of the lake where the gnats are just super bad, and boy was I running into them so bad when I came back. Ooh, it just be making me feel nasty and itch. And as soon as I be getting in the house, boy, I be ready to take everything off and jump in some nice hot water. But yeah, just make sure I have all my essentials. I get my fanny pack because I have had the nerve to go to the lake before, and I had my keys in my pocket, just my car key, and it absolutely fell out as I was walking around the lake, and I was stranded at the lake. And if it wasn't for my ex having one of my spare keys, I would have been stranded at the lake. And when I had to call that lady, which I was not trying to talk to that lady in any way, shape, or form, she was acting like I was using that as an excuse to talk to her. And then she was acting like I just wanted my key back from her. Sweetheart, I am stranded here. And then, because I searched that lake up and down, I retraced my steps several times. And then by the time I had gotten to several parts, it was dark as can be. I got my flashlight crawling on the ground. My keys were nowhere to be found. And that was over like 10 years ago. To this day, I still don't have that key. I had to get a extra spare key made eventually one day. So, girl, bring me my key. I promise you, this is not as an excuse for me to try to see you. It wasn't that deep for me to get my key back, although I did need to have my key back, because what do you need my key for? But anyways, yeah, so I don't leave without a fanny pack or something real, because pockets, you cannot trust them, you cannot trust them, you cannot trust them. But anyways, back to this lake, back to the trail. Now this lake, I want to say, is almost like 10 miles long, and there's so many different entrances, there's so many different sites. If you just want to look at the lake, if you want to go past where the kids have a little skate park, if you want to go past where the kids have a playground, where the kids have a water park, if you want to go to an area where you can feed the ducks and stuff, if you want to go to the area where there's the docks where you can actually get on your boat or do your little water activities, or if you want to go to the entrance where it has the restaurants, or you want to go to the entrance that has the lake house. I'm telling you, I mean the lighthouse, not the lake house, my bad. I'm telling you, there's so many entrances, but I pick and choose. Most of the time, I pick the one that's closest to where I live. And if I'm not pressed for time and I have more wiggle room throughout the day, I'll go to one of the different entrances. But it really don't matter to me. I usually just stay along the lake line, and the view is always beautiful. And it felt pretty good outside that day. Again, I went outside where my attitude was bad, and baby, I wasn't feeling it. But I'm telling you, I felt 10 times better after just being at the lake. And I really, really did need that. I should have went to the lake the day before. The weather has been pretty decent, pretty nice, but there was just a slight chill, and my skin doesn't really react the best to being cold. Like, I'll just start getting really itchy. It'll feel like I'm breaking out in hives. It is so uncomfortable. So Halfway through my walk, I did start to get that uncomfortable sensation, and I had no choice but to keep pushing through because I was so far from the car. Because again, it spans out for a while, and I can't remember how many miles I do. I at least attempt to try to do 3. All right, friends, welcome back. We've had a pretty productive day, and let's just go ahead and get this taken care of, get it out of the way, so I can have some more free time and some me time to myself, which I'm excited to do. Okay, so back to shadow work journals. Again, I'm not doing anything special. I just go online. I've been using Pinterest these last couple of days and just been typing in shadow work prompts in case you want to go looking for some or find your own. But the question I am going to answer today is, when do I feel most triggered? There's so many areas and things that trigger me, I'm not gonna lie to you. And I've worked really hard over time to like respond better to being triggered, because 9 times out of 10 when I am getting triggered, you have to be in a space of having that emotional intelligence of, is someone intentionally triggering you, or do they not know that something is a trigger to you to begin with? Because sometimes when I was responding to people triggering me, I responded to it in a way as if I felt like people are intentionally harming me, hurting my feelings, or whatever the case may be. When in reality, I had to look inside of myself of, I'm actually triggered and they really don't have anything to do with it. They don't know about X, Y, and Z that has happened to me that would hurt my feelings or make me act in such a way. So then there's another layer of, okay, that was not someone's intention, but still there's the impact there. And sometimes I used to try to get over it in a way. Like if somebody triggered me and I'm just like, well, they're a stranger, they don't really know me yet, like I can't be particularly mad at them. It's me that's feeling these things, it's me that's had these things happen to me, and I be trying to tell myself to calm down. But then I've discovered I'm not one of those people that can easily let stuff go. And I'm also not one of those people that can let stuff go without having conversations. It's just not in me. Blame it on needing closure or whatever the case may be. Like, I don't care if it's big, I don't care if it's small. Like, I literally have to get my thoughts, I have to get my feelings out, or I'm going to be harboring on them. I'm going to be stewing over them. Like, even if I try to talk to myself internally and be like, calm down. They didn't know. They didn't mean to do X, Y, and Z. And again, that wasn't their intent, but the impact is still there. And I have to acknowledge that my feelings did get hurt behind something. So then that's when you get to the point of, let me voice what happened, why I reacted such a way, why I felt such a way. And then when it comes to, if it happens again, that is when I take it very intentionally. But I jumped the gun. Let me rewind. When it comes to what triggers me the most, again, I have several. But anything regarding my feelings, I'm willing to stand 10 toes down about my feelings. Whether I'm in the right, whether I'm in the wrong, again, I attempt to have emotional intelligence, and I try to come at people in a respectful way. I don't want to be a hurt person that hurts people. I try to come at it in a way of, I want you to understand me more than anything, because I don't want it to keep happening. Because if you do things to me that consistently trigger me, we're not going to be able to do this. And that's the whole thing of like setting boundaries with people and like telling people things, because again, people don't know you. And of course, we could be like common sense, but everybody's common sense is not that common. If you've lived enough life, you know everybody was not raised the same. So some people do need to be told things. So number one, my biggest trigger is usually something that has to deal or align with my feelings. my feelings being hurt, my feelings being disrespected, my feelings being played with or manipulated, or you treating my feelings like you don't care. That's going to trigger me and turn me up each and every time. If you hurt my feelings, again, I have the cognizant understanding that you probably didn't intentionally mean to do that, unless you're an evil, mean-hearted, spirited person. But I can still have the understanding of you didn't mean to do that. So if I bring attention to it, like, hey, it hurt my feelings when you said X, Y, and Z to me. How you respond in that moment tells me everything I need to know about you going forward. Everything I need to know about how you'll handle me, how you'll treat me and my feelings. And I'm gonna be honest, especially when it comes to dating, I do not get very good responses. So obviously that's concerning. Obviously that's disheartening. But if I tell you my feelings and the first thing you think to do is gaslight me, make me believe that it's not happening to begin with, red flag. If I tell you my feelings and your first instinct is to make it small, belittle it in some way, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, I do this all the time. Or, it could be worse. Red flag. Noted. If I tell you my feelings and you act as if you do not care, red flag. It's going to trigger me each and every time. How you respond to me in my feelings. Because again, I don't care for conflict in any way, shape, or form. I'm not a confrontational type of person. But at this point in my life, in years of therapy, I do not run from conflict. It's needed. It is necessary. How does somebody know how to treat you or X, Y, and Z if there is no conflict? And there's going to be conflict. It is an unavoidable thing in life, as two people were not raised the same. Even people that were born in the same household were not raised the same. Everybody thinks differently in their own way. So it's necessary. And I'm okay with going through conflict. At no point am I going through conflict with somebody and I'm using that as a way to attack you. I'm going through conflict in the sense of, I like you. I care about you. I could possibly love you. I still need a little bit of time to figure that out. You know what I'm saying? But for me to figure that out, we have to have time with each other. And the only way I'm going to want to have time with you is if I feel safe to have time with you. So the action that you are doing, whatever it is, X, Y, and Z that this person is doing, those actions, those words do not make me feel safe. And because I care about you enough, I like you enough, I want to see what this could be. I want us to grow with each other. I am bringing it to your attention because I want you to be able to fix these things so that we can stay around each other. Because again, if you are going to consistently trigger me, you hear me say that this hurts me, and you're going to do it anyway, like you don't care, you're not going to be able to stay around me. And if that's your end goal, cool, we can go ahead and get that out the way now. We don't have to keep dealing with one another. It's very simple. Let's just cut each other off. But how I get treated will cause me to be triggered. Do you act like you care about my feelings? Are you being kind towards me? Are you yelling at me during these things? Those are triggersome to me. And again, I'm not a person that requires things that I can't reciprocate. If I have a problem with you, my first instinct is not to yell at you. To be honest, again, since I'm such a non-confrontational person, I honestly don't even want to bring it up for the simple fact of I'm very into self-sacrifice. I'd rather hurt my feelings than hurt your feelings. I don't want to make you feel bad that you're hurting me. I don't want to hurt your feelings and say something that I don't like what you're doing, X, Y, and Z, that maybe you've done all your life, and I'm now making it an issue. I'm making it a problem. I don't want to cause a rift between us. So my first instinct is really to keep it to myself. But as a person who needs to be understood, a person that needs reassurance, a person that needs to have full, thorough communication, I have to speak to you about it and see where it goes. Whether it goes somewhere and you fix it, or whether it goes nowhere at all and I fix it myself and get away from you, it has to be done. But I first initially need to see how it goes. So therefore, when I'm bringing up conflict, I'm not trying to be mean to you. I'm not trying to attack you. I'm not trying to make you feel bad in any way, shape, or form. And it's going to make you feel bad. If you are a genuine person with real feelings, and if you have the feelings for your person, how you say you have feelings for a person, you're going to not feel the greatest if they are telling you you're hurting them. Because again, there's the intent versus the impact. You're not intending to hurt somebody, but accidentally you have done something, and they have the right to tell you, and you have the right to have your feelings about it. But you also need to be able to listen and have discernment and still care and show up, or whatever the case may be. So I'm coming at you in a respectful manner, and if I can't come at you in a respectful manner at that time, I'm going to distance myself from you. And by no means am I just going to pack up and leave and be an avoidant towards you. I will tell you that I need the time. I will tell you that I need space. I will be vocal about, you really hurt my feelings today, but I'm not really ready to discuss it. Give me a little time. And in my time, and I've talked about this with my therapist before, because again, as a non-confrontational type of person, before I was in therapy, I could not handle conflict. I tried to avoid conflict like the Black Plague. I would keep all the pain and hurt inside, let people walk all over me. I would walk on eggshells when I dated super explosive people. I did not want to do anything, say anything that made them erupt. And you know what I found out? I found out that no matter how much I tried not to have an argument, not to start a problem, it would still come up anyways. And then on top of that, it would be worse. There would be a snowball effect to it. Here I am, somebody hurts my feelings, I keep it inside. They can tell something is wrong, because again, I'm not a person that's good at hiding my feelings. And they ask me what's wrong so many times, and I'll be like, oh, nothing. And then they finally get me to be like, all right, yeah, there is something, but we don't have to talk about it right now. And then that turns into a week, 2 weeks. And honestly, I'm just hoping that you forgot that you even did something to me that hurt my feelings, and we never have to talk about it. And then after a couple of weeks, I feel better. And the next thing you know, you turn around and you do it again, and the cycle starts all the way over again. That's how I used to handle conflict before going to therapy. And again, I just had that epiphany moment when I was with one of my first partners when I was in therapy for the first time. She was just super, super explosive. She was so mean. She was so negative. That woman would cuss me out all the time. She would go off on me on social media, attempt to publicly embarrass me. She just was not kind in any way, shape, or form. But yet she would claim that she cared about my mental health. She's actually the person that sent me to therapy. She was paying for it and everything because I didn't have the insurance at the time. I was a college student. So you are actively sending me to therapy to heal from you, and you continue to damage me each week. Make that make sense. But that's a different story for a different day. But anyways, I cannot remember, as this was almost over a decade ago, but we were into it about something. And again, how I handle conflict, I just attempted to ignore it. So I told her we could talk about it another time. She was at work. She eventually came home from work. I did not want to talk about it. So I pretended everything was fine. I still made dinner. I still cleaned up the house. We still watched TV or whatever the case may be. And then next thing you know, she had said something that hurt my feelings 10 times worse. And she's not liking my reaction. She's not liking that I'm silent. So then she's going off on me. And it was just like, no matter what I did, there was still going to be a conflict. So might as well just go through that first bit of conflict and get out what you need to get out and go on about your business. So that was my epiphany moment, and I really wanted to fix that, and I really wanted to change that. So I've gotten better at conflict over the years. Not to say I can't tweak stuff or it can't get better, because I think you can always improve on things no matter what it is. Even if you feel like it is a skill that you have a complete handle on, I still feel like you could do better at something. But anyways, I've learned how to handle conflict better over the years. And so one of the rules that me and my therapist came up with, like, take your time, because I am a processing person. I'm not one of those people that can talk about something hurtful in the moment. One, because I'm confused. I'm feeling this emotion. It's hurting me deeply, but I don't know where it's coming from and I don't know where it's stemming from. So how can I bring up a conversation to you and get you to understand me and provide clarity and reassurance and whatever the case may be, if I can't even have a simple conversation and be able to pinpoint things to you? So number one, I'm confused. I need time to sift through my feelings and feel them and figure out where they're stemming from so I can have a conversation with you. And number two, I'm not one of those people that like to talk about stuff in the moment as well, because I don't care for the heatedness. If you're going to handle conflict in an unhealthy way, where you're going to mishandle me and my feelings, you need to yell, you need to scream, you need to curse me out and stand over me, or whatever the case may be. As a person who has been in domestic violence relationships, there's just certain things I cannot handle when it comes to conflict. So if that's how you're going to treat me, I'm going to consistently be triggered, and I'm not going to be able to hear you or help or fix things. Because if you have a problem with me, I want you to state the problem that you're having with me. We're both going to have problems with each other. You're not going to like everything that I do, and I'm not going to like everything that you do. But it's important on how you're speaking to your person. And if you are in a space where you are doing these triggering things to me, like standing over me and cussing at me and going off on me, I'm going to get into a space of, I need to protect myself from you. And if I get into a space of protecting myself from you, I'm going to shut down. And when I'm shutting down, I cannot hear you. I cannot hear anything that you are saying. I'm just thinking to myself, I'm very fight or flight. And my first response is flight. Like in past relationships, before I attempted to work on conflict, the moment my person would start yelling at me, I would immediately grab my keys, immediately put my shoes on, and literally run to the door and get in the car and drive off. In the midst of the conversation happening, I did not wait. I had to get out of there immediately, quickly. So I'm not one of those people that can handle certain things through conflict. If you're going to be triggering towards me, I won't be able to help you, hear you, and understand and be able to fix it. You have to be able to talk to me in a respectful way, and I have to be able to talk to you in a respectful way. So when I am taking my time away, I'm taking space away so that I'm not going to be this hurtful person that's hurting you in the moment. I don't want to say things that I'm going to regret, because that's what usually happens. People are going back and forth in the moment and they're saying hurtful things. And the thing is, I'm one of those people who has like that elephant memory. If you say something hurtful to me, I'm going to remember it forever. And so when people sit up there and they have the nerve to say all these hurtful things to you and still say, I love you, I care about you, and now you're trying to make it up to me, and now you're trying to say sorry, and now you're taking the words back, and it's just like, but somewhere deep in me tells me that you truly feel that way towards me. So which one is the real you? The person that's spewing these hurtful, hateful things towards me, or this loving person? Which one is you? And now I'm confused, and now I'm conflicted, and it's a whole little thing. But let's stay on topic for this one. So when I'm coming at you in conflict, I want to make sure that I'm being respectful towards you. I want to make sure that I'm being understood. So I'm a processing person. I do take some time, but in therapy we have discussed what a reasonable time frame is, and I don't go longer than 24 hours. That is what me and my therapist have come up with. And most of the time I don't need a full day. Most of the time, I need 30 minutes. Most of the time, I need an hour. Sometimes, if it happened in the beginning of the day, I could talk about it later that night. It just depends on what was said, how big the conflict was, how much of my emotions did it stir up. Like, that's what it depends on. But I go no longer than 24 hours before I express myself and speak my mind, or whatever the case may be. But, anyways, how I'm being handled when it comes to my emotions in conflict, that is one of my biggest triggers. And again, it's gotten better over time. There used to be a time where I would fight to the death on being heard and understood. And now I'm in a space of like, if you are showing me who you are in the beginning, that you're going to gaslight me, that you're going to manipulate me, that you're going to treat me and treat my feelings like you don't care. I already see the type of person you are. I already see the type of time you are. And I don't really need to continue this. What do I need to argue back and forth and talk to a brick wall for? We're not going to get anywhere with each other. And so I hope that you find what you're looking for, baby. It's not me. It's not me in any way, shape, or form. So that is something that triggers me. If you would like to discuss something that triggers you, let me know. But we are going to end it here because that was a lot. That was a lot of conversation. And again, take your breaks if you need to take your breaks, and take care of yourself. And today was day 23, I believe. Again, we're almost done with the wellness challenge. And again, I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue doing the things that I need to help myself and better myself. But our challenge will come to an end soon. I hope you have a good rest of your day, good rest of your evening, whenever it is that you see this. Have a good one.